Impressive.
Nearly 2 months after it started, the monstrous Carlton Complex fire is still hanging on.
It's acting like a chimney. It's sucking air right up through the middle.
Fire hollowed out a ponderosa pine and has been feeding on it for weeks. Everything, including the fire, is trying to stay alive in the black.
Right now, what we're concerned about is in another 6 weeks or so, we're going to have thousands of deer pouring into the winter range, and there's really not going to be much here for them to eat in this coming winter season.
Bitterbrush, the winter staple of the herds, has burned away for miles in every direction. It's all the deer have to eat when the winter snows force them down from the mountains, which also got burned. Food is scarce up high as well. Even if winter wasn't rapidly approaching the high country, there's just not much up here for wildlife to feed on. There are signs of life. It is coming back. New plants are growing up through the ashes, but there just won't be nearly enough of it for this winter. So that leaves the deer with some deadly options. Some are expected to make the dangerous journey across roads to the irrigated farm and orchard lands below. Lowland herds are already putting pressure on farmers. More deer could cause serious damage. The deer that choose to remain in the blackened rangelands and feed on what little vegetation there is pose another risk.
If we have too many animals on the landscape, they're going to inhibit the ability of the vegetation to come back.
The burned land simply cannot support the same number of deer, so the Department of Fish and Wildlife is turning to hunters for help.
So this fall we're going to have some supplemental antlerless harvest, take several hundred additional animals off the landscape.
The department is grappling with issues only the state's largest fire in history can raise. It's a decision the department doesn't take lightly. It's also prepared to feed the deer to prevent a massive die-off.
I have a currant bush that's resprouting.
Fire is a natural event, and Fitkin says in the long run, the land will be healthier because of it. And even though humans can help extinguish the last gasps of the fire that ravaged it, only nature itself can recover from the black. Near Winthrop, Gary Chittum, King 5 News.